First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Andy Ellerman of First City Wealth, serving Vincennes and surrounding communities to help with investing and planning for your future before and during retirement years. First City Wealth online at firstcitywealth.com. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to First City Focus. I'm your host, Nicole Carey. On this episode, we're going to treat you to our latest edition of History Vault, taking a look at Angel Mounds and visiting its recent multi-million-dollar renovation. We'll find out how the new exhibits honor the site's history while also celebrating today's native culture and artists. We also have an update on a previous episode of History Vault as the Knox County Poor Farm has finally met its demise. And the Lunar New Year is approaching. We'll learn more about the importance of this celebration in the Chinese culture and how you can take part in it. Join us for these stories and more right now on First City Focus. When you hear the term Angel Mounds, what do you think of? Well, if you grew up in this area, there's a good chance that you took a field trip to the historical site in Evansville with your elementary school. Or maybe you have visited on your own with family or friends. Well, thanks to a multi-million-dollar renovation, it's time to go revisit this Indiana State Historic Site as the museum has completely changed. Learn more now on our latest edition of History Vault.
I've been telling people it's not the Angel Mounds of your fourth grade field trip anymore.
Since its opening, the Angel Mounds Museum has undergone 3 major renovations. But this latest transformation is truly groundbreaking. To understand its significance, we must first explore the history of the sacred site. The Angel Mounds are not just relics of the past, they are a living testament to the ancient Native American cultures that once thrived here. Join us as we uncover the layers of history, stories of the people, and modern innovation that now shape the progression of this iconic Indiana landmark on this episode of History Vault. Angel Mounds is a remarkable place with origins dating back 1,000 years. There were approximately 1,000 people who lived here and built the mounds. They are known as the Mississippian culture, a name used to describe a wide network of indigenous communities spread across the Mississippi River Valley from 800 AD forward. While these communities had distinct and diverse cultures, they shared similar practices, especially when it came to agriculture and architecture. One of their key innovations was the development of more efficient farming techniques, which allowed them to grow abundant crops, particularly corn. This agricultural revolution helped sustain large, complex societies. Along with their farming advancements, the Mississippians were also known for building massive earthen mounds, like those at Angel Mounds. The site itself covers 600 acres and includes 11 distinct mounds, each with its own purpose and meaning. The mounds were not simply piles of dirt, they were powerful symbols of social structure and religious significance. The taller the mound, the more important the structure built on top. For example, the tallest mound likely supported the residence of the chief or the site of important religious ceremonies, serving as the center of both political and spiritual life. The site of this society was right on the banks of the Ohio River. This strategic location was chosen on purpose. The river wasn't just a natural feature, it was a lifeline.
So Angel Mounds was not only important for just this place, right? Angel Mounds was the religious, political, and economic hub for a much larger area. So these big sites like this, like these centers, these hub centers, are positioned right along the river, all the way up and down. And so the river was the highway. The river connected everybody. The river allowed for trade. It allowed for politics. It allowed for relationships. The river was vastly important. So that's why you see these sites like Angel positioned right on the river.
By around 1450 AD, Angel Mounds was abandoned. While the exact reason why remains a mystery, many believe it was due to the depletion of the land's natural resources, as the Mississippians' agricultural practices may have strained the environment, and it's possible that they could no longer sustain the large population that thrived here. Yet, despite the uncertainties surrounding their departure, one thing is clear: the legacy of the Mississippian people endures.
No one knows where they went. Well, yeah, we do. They're members of federally recognized tribes today are the descendants of the people who built this wonderful place. So visitors in Evansville hopefully are going to see that here and see those connections between how the people built this place. You know, beginning 1100 AD, flourish about 1250 AD, how they built this place and lived here, but how those traditions carry today, and how today's artists and historians are reworking those things, and they're redoing them how they want to do them today.
We were here and we went downstream. That's what our name means. The Quapa Ogaha means that we went downstream. You know, so we were familiar with this area. But if you look at Angel and Wycliffe and Kincaid and you know, the Boot Hill of Arkansas and where we ended up, the Boot Hill of Missouri and where we ended up in Arkansas, they're actually not that far apart through the water because that was our highway.
The story of Angel Mounds didn't end with its abandonment, as it was rediscovered in the 20th century. By the early 1900s, the land had become a farm owned by the Angel family. But in 1938, the Indiana Historical Society, supported with a generous donation from Eli Lilly, purchased the land to protect it from development. The real breakthrough came in 1939, when archaeologist Glenn A. Black was hired to explore the site. Over the next 15 years, his team uncovered over 2.5 million artifacts, shedding light on the rich history of the mound builders. This discovery led to Angel Mounds being declared a National Historic Landmark in 1964. In 1972, the site was further developed with the opening of an interpretive building, which was funded by Eli Lilly. And in 2001, the building was expanded to accommodate growing interest and research. In recent years, significant steps have been taken to honor the site's history. Most notably was the return of 700 human remains, excavated by Black and stored at Indiana University. The remains were reburied in 2021, completing a long-awaited chapter in Angel Mounds' legacy.
Important to the tribes, you know, you want to bury as close to where they came from, just like anybody else. I don't think that we're unique in that. I think that anybody wants to bury in their local community. And so it's only right that they came from there, here, they should go back here.
After the return of the ancestral remains, it became clear Angel Mounds needed change.
It needed to be updated. I think that's one thing we all realized at that time, is that the exhibits needed to be updated.
It's been a long time in the coming, right? So it's been years since the previous exhibits had been installed. So we've known for quite some time that renovations were really needed. So we really needed to do a pretty big, upgrades.
In 2022, the state began this transformation, backed by a $4 million grant, with an additional $2.5 million from the Lilly Endowment. But this change had to be different, more significant than any that came before it.
I've been telling people it's not the Angel Mounds of your fourth grade field trip anymore. It is going to peel back layers of interpretation that we've never used here at the site before. The people component will be front and center on this one now.
For the first time, the museum would turn to today's Native American tribes to guide the narrative. Their perspectives, knowledge, and history would ensure the story of Angel Mounds was told authentically, honoring the voices that had long been overlooked.
How does it feel today to know that you're going to open this to the public brand new?
It's kind of scary, actually. This is the third incarnation of an exhibit in this building, and this is the first time it's told from the Native perspective rather than the archaeologist perspective.
We understood, having worked with members of federally recognized tribes, how important it was that our messaging really gets realigned, so we really understand where we need to be and what we need to be showing to get these deeper stories out to the public and to the folks here in Vincennes and beyond.
In the past, the story of Angel Mounds was told primarily through the eyes of archaeologists. It focused on the artifacts, stone tools, pottery, remnants of a distant culture. These items offered us glimpses of a long-lost world, but the story often felt disconnected, as though it was merely about the past.
We've done a pretty significant shift here at Angel Mounds. In the previous exhibit that had been up for many years, it was an archaeological story. It was about all the stuff that we pulled out of the ground, and that's a great story. However, the current Angel Mounds perspective is that what does it mean to the people who still find deep meaning here? For many of us, this is a place to visit. It's a place on a road trip. It's a place to go, if you're in Evansville, you're gonna pop by. But there are people, the modern descendant tribes have deep connections to this place that they are rediscovering that they have always had. And I want people to understand that there are living people that still have a strong connection to this very old site.
Bringing history to life. It's saying that this isn't dead, it isn't archaeological, right? Archaeology is one bit of evidence, it's one thing. And previous museums and previous exhibitions, and not only here, but pretty much everywhere, I think, have just really focused on the archaeology. The archaeology drove the story, and it drove the narrative, and it drove everything like that. But archaeology is an important evidence. It's a very important piece of the evidence to tell those stories, but it can't tell the whole thing, not far from it. So it takes those relationships with knowledge bearers and artists to really flesh out people's lives and what's happening today.
This shift has truly expanded the story, making it no longer just about the objects, but about the people who once made and used them.
We took something that just was showing Angel Mounds, the past, and thinking of the native people as being in the distant past. And this exhibit brings it all to the forefront and makes it contemporary to today.
Here at the exhibit, you don't just observe, you engage. The museum is designed to immerse you in this history. It's a place where you can hear the stories being shared, where you can see firsthand how these same techniques are still practiced today, just as they were by the residents of Angel Mounds thousands of years ago. Through contemporary art and living traditions, the museum brings the story of Angel Mounds to life. It's not just a journey to the past, it's a celebration of culture, resilience, and continuity.
I want the visitors to be able to come in and be like, okay, I'm hearing and seeing representatives of today's tribal nations, because that's what this is really about.
It's always really fascinating to work with people, that giving their stories to us and trusting their stories to us. We always want to be really respectful and kind, and making sure that we're showing the most interesting aspects of it, because folks that are coming in might not understand, they might not have that perspective. So it's our job at the museum to provide that kind of intermediary to say, here are these wonderful things, here's these interesting things, here's a deeper meaning that you might not have considered when you bought your ticket.
What you do is you walk in here, and the exhibits that you see aren't done by somebody outside the tribal groups. These are actually done in consultation as the way it should be with tribal native population.
The revitalization of the site began with a powerful collaboration. Curators were invited to Oklahoma, where they immersed themselves in the culture, the stories, and the traditions of the tribes. They captured it all on film, taking the essence of these cultures and returning it to Angel Mounds in Indiana.
The descendants, the tribal nations who are descendant from Angel Mounds, this story is really important. This remains a sacred site to the people here today, for tribal people today, and that includes like Miamis, it includes Shawnees, it includes Quapaws, and includes many tribal nations. Also the Peorias, the Peoria tribe of Oklahoma, who had a big place here in Vincennes and in Knox County. They too are the descendants of these folks from Angel Mounds. So this place is really important to many tribal nations.
For us, this is rediscovering our roots. So you're just, people who come into this exhibit are discovering Angel Mounds for the first time and its inhabitants and its culture. But in the same way, it's given us the opportunity to rediscover ours too. We're no longer, in the past in a Western movie or whatever. You can see where we are today. You can see what we're doing, how we're planting our crops, how we're carrying out our ceremonies, the same as we did here.
At the heart of this remarkable site lies a powerful story, one that has often been overlooked. With this immersive exhibit, the tribes hope to finally reveal the true essence of Native American life here at Angel Mounds, not as relics of the past, but as living cultures whose knowledge and wisdom still resounds today.
They had a sense of the stars and the movements of the stars, and I don't think people have really understood that. They think of them as kind of just living day to day and going out and hunting deer and that kind of thing. But there was a much more complex ideology going on that I think the everyday person does not think of. So when you look at Angel Mounds and you come into the exhibit, you're seeing the idea of cosmology, the study of the stars, the movements, and using them to determine the seasons. Those are all very important kind of abstract ideas that they don't really appreciate American Indians doing that.
Cosmology played a central role in the lives of the Mississippians, and their legacy is written in the land itself. These mounds were more than just monuments. They were instruments of knowledge, reflecting an intricate understanding of the universe. They were designed to chart the heavens, to predict the seasons, and to ensure the survival of a community rooted in both spiritual and practical wisdom. The museum's updated exhibits showcase the intelligence and ingenuity of the Mississippians. With their deep knowledge of the natural world, they shaped a civilization that was far ahead of its time. By uncovering these truths, we gain not just a glimpse into their past, but a deeper respect for the intellect and resilience of the Native people.
I hopefully will, when children come in and see the exhibit as part of learning in school, it will have them walk away from a different perspective than the Westerns, Indians in the Westerns.
In an age where technology puts endless information at our fingertips, it's easy to just ask Google what this all means. But this exhibit offers something much more than just knowledge.
You can get information all day long, but you really can only have that feeling by coming in here, getting some understanding, and then going out on the mounds and saying, okay, I see it and I feel it now.
Mm-hmm. Indiana's historic sites and the tribal communities they've partnered with have done an incredible job with this museum. It's a testament to the hard work and dedication that has gone into preserving and sharing this story. But unfortunately, this kind of effort is not the norm for many Native American sites across the U.S.
It's wonderful to see a site like this, American Indian cultural site like this, which is a sacred site to the Quapaw, thrive. And the state is invested in it, and it's not the orphan that I see in other states. So I very much appreciate, Indiana and its staff, the staff here, for looking forward and investing in our future. What's great is that Indiana has preserved and protected this site for us, as well as the local community. They feel a part of it, and I'm very happy for that. They should feel a part of it, because it's their history as well as it is our heritage.
come visit the site. Please come visit the site. I hope you enjoy it.
I just really would like people to understand that just how significant this shift is here, and come here and hear from people that have a different perspective that you don't have, and you might never can have, but you can get some sense of that. And I really feel like our new indoor experience just does that really well.
As we stand here, overlooking the land where so much history was made, we are reminded that the story of Angel Mounds is far from over. It's a story of resilience, knowledge, and connection, one that continues to influence the lives of those who call this place home today. Through these mounds, we not only learn about the past, but we also glimpse the future, a future where the voices of Native American communities are heard, respected, and celebrated. Thanks for watching this episode of History Vault.
Angel Mounds is open Wednesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. They're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. You can contact the State Museum there to schedule a field trip for your class. We have their contact information on our website. And now for an update to an earlier History Vault we brought you. As we previously shared, the Knox County Poor Farm has long been an embattled historical site in our area. If you haven't seen our History Vault episode diving into the property's long background, you can go watch it right now on our Vincennes PBS YouTube channel. Well, just before the new year rang in, demolition of the historical structure swung into full motion. Under Knox County's recent office consolidation plan, this property on Hart Street Road will soon see new construction. The planned structure is being called the Emergency Operations Center and will house the county's 911 Central Dispatch Center, Emergency Management Agency, as well as the coroner's office. Right now, plans call for a 5,100 square foot building at a price tag around $2 million. Well, you might still be saying Happy New Year to anyone you haven't seen since last year. Well, you definitely can still say Happy New Year, especially for the upcoming Lunar Year celebration, most popular in the Chinese culture. Tessa Haig takes us through the meaning behind this special celebration.
Did you know that 2025 is the year of the wood snake? The Chinese New Year is just around the corner, and it's not just about the festivities. It's a celebration with deep history and even deeper meaning. The Chinese New Year is the biggest holiday in the Chinese culture, also known as the Spring Festival. It marks the beginning of spring, and for many, it's a time of family gatherings, new beginnings, and good fortune. But did you know it doesn't fall on the same date each year? It's based on the lunar calendar, not the Gregorian one we usually follow. So Chinese New Year can fall anywhere between January 21st and February 20th. In 2025, the celebration is on Wednesday, January 29th. Now let's talk about the Chinese zodiac. It's a 12-year cycle, with each year linked to one of these 12 animals. But what's really cool is that each year is also tied to one of the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So what does it mean if you're born in the year of the snake, like 2025? Well, the snake is all about wisdom, intuition, and transformation. And in 2025, we have the wood snake, which brings a unique twist to all of this. The wood element adds growth, creativity, and expansion. So if you're born under the snake sign, this could be a year when you're feeling extra inspired, ready to transform, and make big changes in your life. But Chinese New Year isn't just about zodiac signs and what the year could bring. It's about family, traditions, and celebrating together. One tradition is setting off fireworks, which is believed to scare away evil spirits and bring good luck. It's also common to give red envelopes filled with money. These symbolize good fortune, and the red color is said to drive away bad luck. Then there's the food. And let me tell you, food plays a big role in the celebration. There are dumplings, which look like gold, symbolizing wealth. There's fish for abundance, and sweet rice cakes, which represent progress and growth. So, if you're lucky enough to be at a Chinese New Year feast, you're in for a treat. So whether you're celebrating the Chinese New Year with your family or just learning about it for the first time, it's a beautiful time to reflect, celebrate, and look forward to a year of fresh starts and good fortune. Thanks for learning more with Vincennes PBS, and have a happy New Year.
Vincennes University will be celebrating the new lunar year on January 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. inside Jefferson Union on the Vincennes campus. And that brings us to our final focus. With the new year comes New Year's resolutions, and most of Indiana's state parks help many folks start the new year on the right foot with a first day hike. Our very own Dave Novak headed out to Shakamak State Park to join in on their first day hike. Let's tag along.
Well, thank you all for coming and joining us for our first day hike for 2025. This is a great way to start the new year. It ramps everybody up for outdoor recreation in 2025. It is a very popular event for us. We run between 200 to 250 folks that join us every year.
This is our second year that we've come. I'm not a biker, so I have no good advice on
try it.
Yeah,
it's a nice, easy hike to start the year.
It was colder, I think, wasn't it? But we saw an eagle. Actually, it was up here in this tree. It was just nice. It was nice to get out and see other people getting out, and despite the weather.
So we wanted to do a first day hike. None of us have been to Shakamak, so they won the lottery. Here we are.
Oh, it's wonderful. Kids will talk more when when you're not just looking at them. When you walk and talk, you can have good conversations and find out what's happening.
What a great way to start the new year. Well, that's all for this episode of First City Focus. For all of us here at Vincennes PBS, I'm Nicole Carey. Join us again next week.
First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Andy Ellerman of First City Wealth, serving Vincennes and surrounding communities to help with investing and planning for your future before and during retirement years. First City Wealth online at firstcitywealth.com. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.